right, number 13 and 14. And if you're still with me at this point, you are so dedicated, you know what to do. You should just go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you just get all this good content. You get notified about it. And with that, we'll just go to number 13. Sorry, it's early in the morning. I'm feeling a little crazy. There were 326 students at a high school dance. Okay, they were just, as people were walking in, they were clicking a button, they were counting. They knew that there were 24 more girls than boys. How many girls and boys attended? Okay, so everybody paired off to dance, and there were 24 girls left out because they didn't have a match. So let's find out how many girls and boys were at the dance. Okay, I'll call girls G and boys B. That just makes sense to me. It says there were 326 students at the high school dance. So the number of girls plus the number of boys equals 326. We have one equation. And it has two unknowns in it, so we can't solve it yet. Okay? We could think of possible pairs, so we could find out, all the possible sets of these, but we can't find out the true what happened in this scenario. But it does tell us there were 24 more girls than boys. So girls equal, they had the same number of boys plus 24. So however many boys plus 24 will give us the number of girls. And now we have a system. And that system is set up really well because the number of girls is solved for already, so we can substitute it in for this G. We got B plus 24 plus B equals 326, or 2B plus 24 equals 326, and now I'm just going to solve. So I need to get B by itself, so I'm doing opposite operations here. I subtract to make this become 0, but I have to do it to the right side too, and that makes this 302. Then I divide by 2, and I get that there are 151 boys at this dance. So now I want to know, well, how many girls does that mean I have? I'll bring it up here to this equation. The girls are just the number of boys, 151 plus 24. So there are 175 girls and 151 boys. And I'll just write it as a little pair here, 151 boys, 175 girls. Number 14. This one's talking about a newsstand selling two different papers. We've got the New York Times and Globe and Mail. And 75 cents for New York Times, 60 cents for the other one. And it tells me the stand sells 177 newspapers. Okay. So I'm going to call this N, and I'm going to call this G. I know that the number of times and the number of globes is 177. Simple equation. Then it says it says the total receipts are $118.80. Okay. How many of each paper were sold? All right, so how do I write this side? I know that my profit, or how much I made, was $118.80. How did I get that money? Well, every copy of the New York Times made me 75 cents. So I'm going to write 0.75. All right, and then, so 0.75 cents times however many I sold will get me the profit there. And then 60 cents, so that's just 0.6 times the number of globes, equals $118.80. Okay, we can go several ways with this. We can multiply this top equation by 0.75, but I think that the best solution for us probably is to use substitution. And to do this, we're going to need to solve for either N or G. I'll just solve for N, subtract G from both sides, and I get this new equation, N equals 177 minus G. If I know what N is in terms of G, I can plug in to this equation here. And it becomes 0.75 times 177 minus g plus 0.6 g equals 118.8. All right, then you're going to have to do a little math. The calculator will come in handy right here for you. You do 0.75 times 177. Okay, so I'm going to distribute this out. And I end up with 132.75 minus 0.75g plus 0.6g equals 118.8. If I combine these two, I will get negative 0.15g. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract this 132 to the other side. So I'm going to do 118.8 minus 132.75, and I get negative 13.95. And I will divide by 0.15. And I get that I sold 93 Globe and Mails. And then my last step here is going to be to find out the number of New York Times. 177 minus G. Okay, that's this equation right here that I'm using. And 177 minus 93 gets me 84 New York Times. So 84 there's your solution.